world peace to all world religions, where I myself have experienced that divine vibration of the Guru. All right?
Greetings. Two quick questions. Was this book written at the Encinitas location, Swami Beach? That's the first one. And then, during his passing or transition, was it right after that UN speech? Is that what was said? Or he gave that speech where all the...
Well, first of all, yes, the book autobiography of a yogi, when you saw the scenes of him sitting at the desk writing, that's in the hermitage that was given to him in Encinitas, which is north of San Diego, northern San Diego County, overlooking the ocean above the, and as you mentioned, over the years, it also happens to be a world famous surf break. That surfers all over the world know it as Swami's Point. They probably don't know who the Swami is or what a Swami is, but now you all know anyways. So yes.
I swam in there twice. It's really nice.
Yeah. And the speech at, what was the?
It was the speech where it talked about him saying, "I only have a few hours."
Oh yes. So that was at the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles, and he, this was when the ambassador of India arrived, first time that after India's independence, and they had this big banquet in downtown Los Angeles for him. So he gave that speech. It was 15 minutes long, and he ended with that line that you heard quoted there about paying tribute to his great love and great reverence for the spiritual heritage of India. And he said those last words, "I am hallowed, my body touched that sod," and then lifted his eyes, put a beautiful smile on his face, and consciously exited the body.
Right there in front of the banquet?
Right there in front of everybody.
Other questions? In the back? Oh, there we go.
This question is for the brothers as well. I'm very interested in what made you become monastics and why, and kind of what you do, how you see your work in the world. I'm a student now, and I've recently become a student of Yogananda, and I'm feeling this tear between, my projected career and now this, everything that we just saw. So very interested in why you've become monastics and what you really do.
Well, as Lisa, as you responded about the film, for each of us, that's a very personal and can't really generalize why one necessarily becomes, except for one thing, is that I think the common thread among all of our monastic brothers and sisters is a deep conviction and deep desire to experience that divine reality that was manifest in the life of Yogananda. Now, having said that, in the next breath, I want to say that, as you can see from what you saw in the film today, Yogananda's path of meditation, of Kriya Yoga, of spiritual enlightenment for all humanity really had no requirements, or certainly no sense that you had to retire to a monastery or become a renunciant in order to practice it. As you heard him say, really the spiritual battle takes place in the jungle of civilization. So I think the great contribution that he made to where the world has evolved, where the world is evolving to, is to bring this set of techniques, this mindset, this philosophy, but more than that, the practical tools, so that no matter where one is situated in life, in a monastery, in a city, in the country, in the family life, in single life, whatever it is, that those sets of tools and disciplines and methods will bring that same perception, that same divine joy, that same immersion in unconditional love that he himself embodied.
If I may, can we also hear from a younger monastic? Would you say a few words?
Sure. Well, I came to Yogananda's teachings when I was still living in India. I was in engineering school there. And as Brother Chidananda just mentioned, one of the things that really appealed to me about these teachings was that they were so practical, that I did not have to go anywhere, be anything, to be able to practice them. He said, make your hearts a hermitage. So that was very attractive to me, that no matter my outer vocation, I can practice these teachings and experience those higher states of consciousness, that joy, the bliss, the peace, love, no matter where I was. And I was a devotee in the world for about 10 years, deeply practicing these teachings. And as time went on, I had a career. I lived in Seattle. I was a software engineer. And as time went on, I felt that I needed to make a deeper commitment. It's a very deep inner calling. It's a calling that has to come from within. That you feel that, okay, this is the next step I need to take, and I felt that, and it took me time to make up my mind and to really decide, because it's like marriage, right? You're making a commitment for life. So I didn't want to make a commitment lightly, and it took me time, and with God's grace, I feel like this is the right choice for me. And I think also Yoganandji, he created, there are two sets of disciples, like we discussed, those who live in the world and who contribute to society and who practice these yogic teachings and embody those teachings in their lives, thereby affecting those around them. Like Gandhiji said, reform yourself and you will reform thousands. That was Yoganandji's message. But there is also the opportunity for those who feel that they want to make a deeper commitment to these teachings, that they want to live the life on a daily basis with a deeper commitment, and also with in serving his work. And I think one of the reasons he created a monastic order was to maintain the purity of his teachings. Because usually what happens is, when a spiritual guru, a leader, dies, the teachings that he brought to the world gets diluted over time. And the organization, the teachings dwindle and disappear. And that's one thing that Yogananda did not want to happen to this very important message that he brought to the world. So he created this opportunity, this monastic order, so that people who dedicate their lives can wholeheartedly, that's their only focus, is to live the life and to maintain the purity of the teachings as he wanted them to be maintained.
The question is, what do we do?
No, I think what's interesting is that from the outside looking in, I just thought the brother could, somebody said, what do you do? And I think that when we first met, we had the same question. We thought, what do these guys do all day? Do they just pray and meditate all day long? And what we discovered was something really vastly different. I mean, these guys are powerful people. They have unbelievable jobs. The people that we met were coming from a lot of science careers, by the way. I mean, he's an engineer, and we met a woman postulant who was an astrophysicist, and there were opera singers and a pianist. Yeah, I mean, just really incredible, very involved people. And they are putting all that energy into, helping all of the people that want to actually pursue yoga. So it takes a lot of work to actually provide a space for hundreds of thousands of people around the world to practice this, and they do an amazing job at it. But they're busy, is what I'm saying. They have jobs, and I don't think that any of us knew that.
Thank you.
Sorry, just thought you might want to know that.
That was very good. I think that was quite complete.
Did I say it?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay. Any more questions?
That was enough.
My question is just a little bit more specific. but about what you do or about what anybody who practices your technique does. Can you describe the meditation that you do?
In the 3 or 4 minutes before they escort us out of the hall, just in general terms, meditation for us is a discipline of, number one, concentration of the mind. And that works with the life energy, the prana, life electricity in the body. Yoga gives a set of techniques for accessing that energy, accessing that prana through a series of mental control, working with breath, working with willpower to relax the energy away from the muscles, from the senses and all the broadcasting outward into, as you saw in the film, into those dormant chakras or divine centers of life and consciousness in the brain. Yogananda's specific form of meditation is called Kriya Yoga. It involves 4 or 5 specific techniques of working with the life energy, concentrating the mind, working with the energies in the spine, awakening those centers that allow a perception or an awareness